Welcome back, Trailblazers, from the classroom to the boardroom and beyond. Hi, I'm Peter Balyta, founder and CEO of Coaching Instruments. If you're a teacher or education leader who's ready to explore the incredible landscape of opportunities beyond the classroom, or maybe you're wanting to explore non traditional roles for educators outside the classroom, or you're standing at the crossroads, ready to transition into the exciting world of business, nonprofits, or consulting, but still feeling a little unsure where to start, then you're in the right place. Last week, we kicked things off, and as promised, we're diving straight into the top 10 questions I've been asked by educators just like you who are exploring career paths beyond the traditional school setting. Today, we're tackling question number one. And for those of you who are just joining, my name is Peter Balyta, and I'm the founder of Coaching Instruments. I've not only walked this path, but I've carved the superhighway from the classroom to the boardroom. It's a journey I'm passionate about sharing because I know firsthand the immense potential that lies within educators. As a former teacher and school district leader, I deeply understand the fears and uncertainties that come from contemplating such a significant change. I've been in your shoes, navigating the daily demands, feeling the weight of responsibility, and perhaps even wondering what your own next step could be, right? I understand the longing to truly feel valued and respected for your dedication and the very real need for greater financial rewards for your hard work. But let me tell you, the skills you've honed in education are powerful, they are transferable, and they're highly valued in a multitude of industries. I took that leap, and I want to show you that you can too. I went on to become a corporate vice president, a company officer for a Fortune 200 company, and ultimately the president of Texas Instruments Education Technology Division. I've also helped many great educators land meaningful roles beyond the classroom. Today, I'm going to share some key insights from my own journey. Remember, education is about impact, about growth, about empowering others. And while the classroom is one vital arena for that impact, it's certainly not the only one. I've always held a profound respect for educators and the critical role they play. But in recent years, I've also been truly inspired by the sheer number of educators, future educators and education leaders who are bravely exploring different avenues to contribute their talents. I've had the privilege of connecting with so many of you and sharing the exciting possibilities that exist to influence learning and development from new perspectives, right? In nonprofits, in policy, and in innovative businesses. Witnessing all of these transitions, has been incredibly rewarding. My initial concern about helping educators leave their classroom has transformed into a deep sense of purpose, empowering extraordinary educators who have decided that their educational passion can shine even brighter beyond the school walls to amplify their impact across diverse sectors. It's about helping you find where you can truly thrive. So let's dive into question number one from the top 10 questions that I've been asked by educators just like you who are exploring career paths beyond the classroom. The first question is always a personal one, and it goes like this. Could you elaborate further on your professional and personal journey and how it led you to your current field and role as president of Texas Instruments Education Technology? Part two to the question, are there any experiences or decisions you would highlight as pivotal in guiding you towards your current role and your achievements? So first off, great question, right? And let's break it down into three key takeaways for you today. All right. First, I want you to understand this. Your career path doesn't have to be a straight line. Before I became president of Texas Instruments Education Technology over 11 years ago, I spent 15 years within the company in a whole range of roles, right? Sales, marketing, project management, product management, partnership, alliances, even outsourcing and curriculum development. And before TI, I was a school board leader for math, science, and health education for a bilingual school board in Canada. And before that, I was in the classroom teaching middle school and high school mathematics in both French and English. Now, while I wasn't directly asked, by the students that were asking me this question, there is a decision I wish I had made when I was working on my Bachelor of Education. And it's this: I wish I had given myself permission to be okay with not knowing exactly what I wanted to be or be doing 10 years down the road. Remember this: education, your career, it's not just about the destination, that degree, that promotion, that fancy title. It's about who you become along the way. So make the decision right now to embrace the journey, to be okay with your path not being a perfectly straight line from point A to point B. It's the twists and the turns that often lead to the most incredible discoveries, right? Now, let's talk about some pivotal experiences and decisions that truly shaped my journey. The very first pivotal experience, well, it wasn't in the classroom and it wasn't in the boardroom. It was meeting someone at the university gym who later became my amazing wife. Look, life throws you curveballs, and sometimes those unexpected moments are the most significant. Now, the first truly pivotal decision I made professionally was switching my major from engineering to a Bachelor of Education in secondary mathematics and physical education. Coming out of high school and through college in Quebec, I honestly didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, right? That common expression. Now, my dad, a hardworking immigrant from the Ukraine, encouraged me to become an engineer. Look, I liked math, I liked physics, so I thought, why not? But it didn't take long at all for me to realize that engineering just wasn't my true calling. And this forced me to really dig deep and think about what I truly enjoyed. I loved sports, I'm fiercely competitive, and I'd been teaching martial arts since I was a teenager, plus I enjoyed helping my friends with their math and science homework. So I made the decision to go ahead and become a teacher, and I transferred into a bachelor's of education program right away. At that time, I didn't fully grasp that education was so much broader than just teaching in a classroom. But in a way, you could say that I've never really left education since then. I love teaching. And while I was in the classroom, I had some incredible opportunities to get involved with the Department or Ministry of Education on math projects and teacher professional development initiatives. These experiences ignited my passion for the wider world of education, and it helped me see the diverse opportunities within it. And most importantly, connected me to some truly incredible people. Now, two individuals immediately come to mind: Carolyn and Kate. Now, Carolyn was the math and science consultant for my school board, and Kate was a professor at McGill University. They both became invaluable mentors to me. After just a couple years of teaching, my mentor Carolyn was asked to work for the Ministry of Education, and the math science consultant position at the school board became vacant. Now, to my absolute surprise, both Carolyn and Kate encouraged me to apply for the job. Look, I remember thinking, you've got to be kidding me. It seemed like a dream role, but I had only been teaching for a couple years. But they both believed in me. They saw something that I didn't see in myself, right? And they promised to be there to support me every step of the way. That was a huge lesson for me, right? Sometimes you need others to see your potential before you fully recognize it yourself, right? I never thought about that, but I hadn't seen that potential yet, but they did. So I made the decision to apply for it, a job that I did not feel completely qualified for. And guess what? I loved it. What I enjoyed the most was helping other teachers integrate technology into their math and science teaching, not just within the school district, but across the entire province and Ontario, other provinces as well. And then a few years later, TI asked if I'd be interested in doing that very same work on a much, much larger scale. Leaving a secure job in a public education role is tough, especially when you have a strong network. And leaving such a job to join a company based in Texas, where very few people knew me, That was a pivotal decision. Our daughter, by the way, was only 6 months old at the time, so it felt like a pretty scary leap of faith. It was probably the toughest business decision I've ever made, though. But my wife and I decided to go for it. We figured, worst case, we could always move back to Canada and find other jobs in education for me and physical therapy for her. Now, that decision really was the beginning of an incredible adventure that took us to Hartford, Connecticut, then to Dallas, then to Paris, and I even had a short time in Shanghai. And during that time, I got much better at taking risks, at applying for or even asking for roles that I didn't feel completely qualified for. Because sometimes you just have to believe in your potential and take that bold leap forward. So, what are your biggest takeaways from my journey so far? What resonates most with you? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you found this insightful, if you're hungry for more, then please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss next week's video where we tackle question number 2 from the top 10 list, where we'll be diving into this area of non-traditional and alternative careers in education. Careers outside of traditional in-school teaching. Look, we're just getting started on this incredible journey of transformation, and I'm thrilled to have you with me. And if you haven't done so already, please drop a comment below. Tell me who you are, what you teach or lead, and what's motivating you to explore opportunities beyond the classroom. Until next time, keep believing in your potential and keep striving for that wild success.